Welcome to the Fantasy Aceball podcast. This is your host, Tim Kanak. You can find me on X at Fantasy Aceball. If you're watching on YouTube at the Tim Kanak, you can see that I am solo today, which is good because we have a lot to talk through. And Doc is going bi-weekly at this point with so many podcasts and so much stuff going on in his personal life, his work life, all the things. So we are going to talk a little bit about Eliezer Dishmay because I saw him last week. And if you are a loyal listener to the Fantasy Aceball podcast or viewer, if you watch the YouTube version, you already know I talked about Dishmay. I saw him last week and I said, this guy has crazy stuff. Keep an eye out for him. This week, 10 strikeouts, and now everybody is talking about him. If you listen to this podcast, you would have gotten in on Eliezer Dishmay 1 week early when I told you how good he was before the 10 strikeout game where now everybody's adding him. So I'm going to show you a little bit here of my view of Eliezer Dishmay, which I posted all this stuff on X, so you can find this stuff on X. But you can see I'm screen sharing now if you were watching on YouTube. Check this out. Here's one of his at-bats. Throwing 94 to 96 miles per hour on the fastball. That one was reaching 95. Clegg was talking about him even on his last podcast. I think he said that he reaches 18-inch IVB, which obviously me watching from behind home plate, like, you can't really read that. You need to look at the data, but check this man out.
Oh, got him! Oh,
Nasty stuff.
yeah, that was a strike.
Here's more from Dishmay right here. Check out this. He throws an 86 to 88 mile per hour slider. This one's 87 miles an hour. Look how nasty that is. How does anyone hit that? And watch the arm slot from Dishmay here. As you hear my son talking about in the background. Look at that arm slot. He's got this crazy righty arm slot. Here's another strikeout, 95 miles per hour from Dishmay. I was posting about this guy all game. This is the first time I'd seen him. I'm like, man, this guy's fired. And then all of a sudden, 10 Ks. That's why you listen to the Fantasy Aceball podcast. Strikeout here, so you can see it. If you're watching on the YouTube, check that out. It's just beautiful. So that was from last week. This week, I also saw a new guy. So if you missed out on Eliezer Dishmay, there's a new. I've got another Marlins prospect now for you to check out. This guy was also very sick. Nate Payne. And I saw the Marlins against the Cardinals, so he did face Raniel Rodriguez, who looked pretty good. But Nate Payne is another lefty. There's 91 to 94, 83 to 85 mile per hour slider, and a really friggin' nasty curveball that's 77 to 80. So I'm going to show you now. We're going to scroll all the way back on my Twitter feed here if you're watching on the YouTube. And we're going to show you some Nate Payne here because this guy was also just incredibly sick. Wherever this freaking guy is on my Twitter feed. Here he is. Oh, Nolan Sparks. There's another guy. Check out Nate Payne. Here he is. This is his first ever A-ball strikeout here on this pick. Look at that curve. Just a freaking nasty curve. Here it is again. Here's another K from Payne. Oh, no, this was Raniel Rodriguez getting a hit up him, but didn't get out. So here, listen to Rodriguez. He hits the ball really hard. Just so you can hear what I hear. Ooh. Sounds a lot more in person. Check this out right here. Oh, that curveball from the left side. That is just a sick curveball from 6'3", nasty lefty Nate Payne. If you missed out on Eliezer Dishmay, Nate Payne may be your next guy. So those are my in-person views. I'll get out of my Twitter feed here. If you're watching on YouTube, those are my in-person views for the week. Now let's get into the T10. Number one on the T10 is Walker friggin' Jenkins, people. Walker Jenkins. So Walker Jenkins, still only 20 years old, finally healthy and finally hitting for power. Last week, he was 10 for 20 with 5 extra base hits, 3 home runs, and 2 steals. And if you are going to look up his numbers like I am right now, I'm going to share my screen with the Tableau pages, John PGH, MILB data. If you want to find your own MILB data, sign up for John's thing. We have some big things coming. He's going to have F scores, live F scores next year. So this is something we've been working on the side, John and I. He's going to have F scores updated daily, live on his Tableau pages for major leaguers and minor leaguers. So if you're interested in the F scores, if you're an F score guy like me, then definitely sign up on John's Tableau at John PGH, and you will be getting live F scores for major and minor leaguers. Pretty sweet stuff. So that's something we've been working on. But anyway, Walker Jenkins, just you can see right here, EV90, 102. What? It's because guess what? This is only including 19 batted ball events from when he was still rehabbing at A-ball this year. This is from his A-ball time. This is not showing what he's doing right now at Double A. I guarantee you he's hitting the ball much harder than this. We just don't have the data on that because he's at Double A. Wait until he gets to Triple A. But Walker Jenkins, the power is coming, folks. So this will be what we have been waiting for. Walker Jenkins is T1 this week. T2 is Owen Murphy, my boy. I love this guy. I had him top 100 before the Tommy John. I bumped him down, and even though he's been gone for like a year and a half, I've kept him in my top 150. Last ranking is 137. Guess what? He's back, and in his first start back, he went 3 1/3 with 8 Ks, 0 walks, 0 ERA, 0.6 WHIP. I friggin' love Owen Murphy, people. Owen Murphy. I'm going to get into his arsenal in a second here, but let's pull him up on the page, shall we? Don't mind me. We don't have a co-host today, so you're going to hear clicky clicking as I'm going here. But Owen Murphy's arsenal, 92 to 94 mile per hour, high rise fastball with a low release point, killer IVB. Pre-Tommy John, he had been measured of getting up to 22 inches of vert on the IVB on the fastball, which is insane. I give his fastball a 55 right now. Probably it could be like that pitch could probably get up to like a 70 grade pitch with that kind of IVB if he gets back up there. If he doesn't get that and he's like riding 18 inches because he doesn't throw it very hard, he's only throwing 92 to 94, it might top out as like a 60 grade pitch. But I think that, you know, if he gets the vertical break back and maybe he adds a couple ticks, he can get it up to a 70. He also has a 84 to 86 mile per hour high break vertical slider. I give that pitch a 60 right now. Could get up to a 65. He has a 12-6 curve that I throw a 45 on with a potential 50 grade, 77 to 79 miles per hour. And he also throws a changeup, rarely, not a great changeup right now. But that's Owen Murphy. I love that dude. He's back now. Probably going to be a top 100 prospect when I redo my new rankings in a few weeks here. Number 3, T3, and new name, outfielder Austin Overn with the Orioles, who was in high A this last week and then was just actually promoted to Double A after this killer week. So that's how good he was, is that he got promoted post T10 here. Last week, 9 for 22, 5 extra base hits, 4 home runs, 5 steals. On the season, Austin Overn is hitting 242, 367, 386 with a near 16% walk rate, a 28% K rate, 20 extra base hits, 8 home runs, and 43 steals. I compared this guy to Jacob Marcy. I was like, his profile is like exactly like Marcy's. Like he has a good hit parameters, like under the radar. His contact tool is not that bad. You can see 70% contact. That's not terrible for Austin Overn. And then he walks a lot, strikes out a lot, tons of steals. This is like straight up like Jacob Marcy 2.0 here. Austin Overn with the Orioles, getting the promotion to Double A. T4. This guy is in Double A. It is Carson Bench with the Mets. He's been on this list, I don't know how many times this year. 3 times maybe we've talked about him. We talked about him a lot. The big issue that I've had with Carson Bench have been the splits. But guess what? He is getting much, much better against lefties. You can see now his slash line against lefties now is 256, 420, 359. He's at least walking against them. He only has 1 home run against lefties. But the good thing is he's not getting completely destroyed by them. While he's hitting 343 against righties, 256 against lefties is manageable. Like, that's not terrible. That'll play. 420 OBP will play. Yeah, there's no power there, but at least he's like not getting decimated. So maybe he is going to be a better version of Evan Carter, because that's what I've comped him to before. Is like, I'm like, this guy reminds me so much of Evan Carter, but maybe he's better. 12 for 24 this week with 5 extra base hits, 4 home runs, and 1 steal. That is Carson Bench with the Mets. T5. This is a name that everybody knows because he's already been in the majors at this point, but he's still a prospect. It is Diddy Fuentes. Hopefully that doesn't stick. This week, 11 innings pitched in 2 starts, 16 Ks, 2 walks, 0.82 ERA, 0.73 whip. This is a dude who is obviously called up way too early. He's still only friggin' 20 years old. Is what the Braves do. People don't realize this, but the Braves are basically like the Angels of the National League. They call all these pitchers up way too early. AJ Smith-Shawver, they did the same thing. They need to take it easy a little bit, which I'm glad that they brought in these vets so they don't ruin these young pitchers. Hopefully they learn their lesson with AJ Smith-Shawver. But Didier Fuentes has a lower 3/4 arm slot, provides for a lot of ride on the fastball, like really interesting. If you haven't watched him, like really interesting arm slot. Like I like him a lot. The only thing is that he's a 2-pitch guy. Like this guy, he reminds me of like young Luis Severino. That's just kind of what he reminds me of, like fastball slider. That's it. Hopefully he's not Kumar, or at least he has 2 pitches. Kumar only has 1. So, there is that. But there is definitely bullpen risk here with Fuentes just because he has 2 elite pitches and then a bunch of crap after that. But you can see if you're watching on YouTube, I have his stats up, but his fastball is a 94 to 98 mile per hour fastball, high rise fastball, low release. I give it a 60 grade with a potential 70 grade. He's got an 82 to 84 mile per hour sweeper with late vertical break, like a really late vertical break, like a la Nolan McLean without the velocity. He doesn't have the velo on it that McLean does, but I throw a 50 on it out of a potential 60. And then he's got a crappy 78 to 80 mile per hour curveball that I throw a 40 grade on. And then he's got a splitter that he throws 87 to 90 miles per hour that I throw a 30 on. Just not good pitches. If you're looking at on YouTube, you can see he has a 2.53 JA ERA on the season across all levels, which is really good. Swing strike rates. You can see he's throwing the fastball almost 58% of the time. Sweeper swinging 25% of the time. So he knows his other pitches are not good. He needs to develop another pitch. But the fastball, 16.4 swinging strike rate on the fastball is killer. 19.4 swinging strike rate on the sweeper is also killer. So that's Fuentes. He is doing much good work in the minors. You can see 7 Ks, 1 walk, 9 Ks, 1 walk. So he's really killing it. I just hope they don't mess him up by calling him up again. I just leave him in the minors and don't tinker with him anymore this year. T6 is my number 100 prospect. It's outfielder Yastinson Garcia with the Red Sox, who is in AAA. Yastinson last week, 9 for 27 with 7 extra base hits and 3 bombs. Could Yastinson get called up? Maybe. It's just like, do they have the room? They have so many outfielders right now that is probably a next year thing. You can see he's really got his launch angles dialed in. Like this guy is just like such a professional hitter. His launch angles, his barrel rate, his line drive rate, that's how he mixes contact. Because you see he doesn't hit the ball. Only 109.6 max EV for maybe a power guy. 88 average EV is okay. 106.1 90th percentile EV is pretty good though. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. You can see he hits both lefties and righties really well. 18 bombs on the season, and also 4 steals. So that's Yastinson Garcia. Just this guy really knows how to hit. Like he's kind of like Kafis, but better in my mind. Like he just has a really good idea of and a really good barrel control in the zone is what I would say for Yastinson Garcia. And over the last few weeks, since July 5th, he's hit 338, 382, 606. So he's been on a tear as of late. Oh, this is a guy that is giving me a lot of fits this year. I thought he would have been up by now. It is Quinn Matthews at T7 with the Cardinals. Quinn Matthews had his best start of the season, thankfully. Hopefully he repeats this. Last week, 6 2/3, 9 Ks, 1 walk, 2.7 ERA, 0.9 whip. Look at this. This has been his problem all year. He has not thrown the ball in the zone. His strike rate has been terrible all season. until this start. 50% strike rate, which is still not great, but it's better than it has been. So we'll give it that. But Quinn Matthews' command has just been atrocious. And like I mentioned before, like, hey, AAA is messed up. We got a smaller strike zone. The ABS shrinks the strike zone. The hitters know it. The hitters screw with pitchers by, not swinging at the stuff near the edges because the strike zone is so small. And then all these pitchers struggle at AAA, and then they go to the majors and their walk rate actually improves by like 4% as soon as they hit the majors. It's kind of messed up. AAA has been really messing up pitchers. Especially I feel like guys without good fastballs. If you have a really good fastball, you can get through AAA a lot easier. But Quinn Matthews has like an average fastball, maybe at best. It's probably below average, but it might be average. Like his fastball is a 93 to 96 mile per hour rising fastball. He has lost a couple ticks on it. He has lost some break on it. It was like 18 inches last year, 17 inches this year. I throw a 40 on that fastball. Maybe it gets up to a 50. It's the breaking stuff that makes Quinn Matthews. And if people are just going to not swing at the breaking stuff, then it kind of screws him. And it makes him throw the fastball in the zone, and the fastball is hittable. So that's what's been messing with Quinn Matthews this year. The zone in the majors is larger than the zone in the minors right now in AAA. So that's part of it, but it's not all of it. Part of it is also just maybe he's sucking. And maybe his fastball is not as good as it was last year because he lost vert and he lost break. He's lost spin on that fastball since last season. So maybe he's not as good as we thought. Maybe he's only a number 3 or number 4 type guy instead of a top end guy. But his breaking stuff is still really good. 84 to 86 mile per hour slider. I give it a 60 grade with a potential 70 grade. He's got an 81 to 83 mile per hour changeup that I put a 70 grade on. He's got a 75 to 77 mile per hour curveball that I throw a 50 grade on. And then he's got a sinker that's actually pretty good. I think he should throw the sinker more. He threw the sinker a lot this spring, and it worked really well. But maybe that sinker, him throwing that sinker, mess with his command of the other pitches, and that's why he's not really throwing it so much. I don't really know. But the sinker, I give a 45 grade to, potential 55. So I think the sinker is better than fastball, actually. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the stats. He's got an 18.3% swinging strike rate on his slider, a ridiculous 28.4% swinging strike rate on the changeup. He throws the fastball 43% of the time, slider 25, changeup 18, curve 8, sinker 5. And the sinker, like I said, I think the sinker is better than the 4-seamer. I mean, the sinker at least gets a 62% ground ball rate out of it. So, but, he's got to find the command. That's where Quinn's at. And hopefully this was a major step this week of him doing that. And we see him in the majors for a start or two at the end of the year in September. That would be ideal as a Cardinals fan. T8, new name, Macaroni German. No, I'm just joking. It's Marconi Herman, shortstop with the Nationals. He's a switch hitter in the DSL, 17-year-old switch hitter. This was last week, 5 for 13, 3 extra base hits, 1 bomb, 6 steals. I can't bring him up on the thing here because we don't get complex in DSL on John's Tableau pages. But on the season, 282, 485 OBP, crazy, 538 slug, 20.4% walk rate, 18.6% K rate. Show me a guy that walks more than he strikes out in the DSL, and I'll tell you that matters. Most of the time, I don't care about DSL stats, but if a guy is walking more than he's striking out and showing tools, yes, that matters. 15 extra base hits, 7 bombs, 24 steals also for Marconi Herman with the Nationals, name to watch. Number 9, fun name here. This is Gage Stanifer with the Blue Jays. I'm going to pull him up because he's in high A, so we actually do get his stats. Gage Stanifer, this last week in 9 innings, which is 2 starts, he did not do a complete game. 12 Ks, 5 walks, 1 ERA, 1 whip. On the season, Gage Stanifer has, in 74 innings, 23.6 K minus walk, 15.8 swinging strike, 31.9 CSW, 292 ERA, 118 whip for Gage Stanifer. And you can see 249 JA ERA, also very, very good. The arsenal for Stanifer. And guess what? Stanifer's fun because he was a 19th rounder in 2024. So that's amazing that a 19th rounder is doing this. But his arsenal, he's got a sinker is his primary fastball. He doesn't throw fastball. And he throws the sinker 94 to 97. I throw a 60 grade on that, potential 70 grade. That sinker, ridiculous sinker, 17.3% swinging strike rate on a sinker. That's like unheard of. He also has a vertical slider that he throws 84 to 86, I throw a 60 grade on that. And he's got an 86 to 89 mile per hour changeup that I throw a 20 grade on. Changeup sucks. It's bad. But the slider also has a 17.4 swing strike rate. So again, like Fuentes, there is some reliever risk here as a 2-pitch guy. He needs to develop a third pitch. He does have like a little bit of like timing things that he does on the mound to mess with the hitters. But I think he's pretty darn good. Gage Stanifer, 2-pitch guy right now. Hopefully he can develop a third pitch. Like I told you, we're putting new names on here. A lot of new names this week. T10 is second baseman Aaron Estrada. And this guy is a lot of fun because he's 20 years old at AA for the Orioles. Of course, another Orioles hitter. He's just going to get stuck. He's going to get stuck there. But Aaron Estrada this week, 7 for 19, 4 extra base hits, 2 bombs, 1 steal. This dude is super underrated. He's been a rock star, especially age to level wise this year. 289, 371, 455 with a 10% walk rate, 16% carry, 29 extra base hits, 7 home runs, 31 stolen bases. I talked about Jefferson Rojas last week. Aaron Estrada is basically doing the same exact things as Jefferson Rojas at AA. he's doing it at the same age at AA as Jefferson Rojas. Jefferson Rojas was doing it at high A and AA and kind of struggled so far in AA, but Aaron Estrada has been at AA for what? Oh, he's only been at AA for 6 games. Sorry about that. But he is hitting 348 at AA with 2 bombs. So the stats from this last week were at AA. But Aaron Estrada, I don't want to give him too much credit here because he wasn't at high A the majority of the season, but he has been really fantastic this season as a 20-year-old in the Orioles org, an org that knows how to develop hitters. He has a 138 WRC plus as a 20-year-old right now in AA. That is very, very good. So Aaron Estrada, T10. I have 2 bonus names for you, guys who are in AAA. Just names to keep on your radar before we close it out. Number 1 is outfielder Nick Schnell with the Nationals, 25-year-old, former second rounder from the Rays, having a very strong season, 11 for 25 last week with 5 extra base hits, 3 bombs, 1 steal. On the season, he's hitting 296, 348, 550 with 44 extra base hits, 18 bombs, 18 steals. A lot of swing and miss there, but Nick Schnell, interesting name to watch. Probably very, very lowly owned in leagues. Last, third baseman Cody Freeman with the Rangers was called up, went back down after going back down last week. 11 for 25, 5 extra base hits, 4 bombs, 0 steals. Freeman is a super interesting name. On the season, hitting 322, 370, 523 with 37 extra base hits, 16 home runs, 8 stolen bases, 8% walk rate, 9.5% K rate. So really good plate approach here for Cody Freeman, third baseman for the Rangers. So there's just some interesting names on the periphery here. Nick Schnell, Cody Freeman, after the T10, and after the names of the guys that I saw. I'm hoping to get some more games in the next couple of weeks before baby number 5 comes, because once the baby comes, I'll probably not be able to get any more games at the end of the year. If Liam Doyle comes to Jupiter, I will make an exception to make that happen. But it's at the end of the year is going to be tough because I have a baby coming in a couple weeks. But until then, I'm going to try to keep pounding and seeing as much baseball as I can until the baby comes, baby number 5. And then I'm also going to be working on updated organizational ranks within the next couple of weeks here. So you'll see them coming out on X. And then probably a week or 2 after that will be my updated top 150. So that's kind of the plan for August is org ranks, updated top 150 before the end of the year. And then off season is going to be getting the F scores live on John's tableaus. So peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Tim Kanak on the YouTube at the Tim Kanak. And then you can find me at Fantasy Aceball on the podcast or on the X. And you can read the written stuff over on Fantasy Pros. Thanks, everybody. Peace out. See you next time.